Hi, welcome to my doll customizing journey. My name is Josephine and these are my creatures. In celebration of Pride Month, I wanted to create a doll that was all about love. So I landed on an idea of a cupid character just for gay people. Here are some pictures that inspired me. I will link the artists down below. In addition to these images, I was also very inspired by the e-girl aesthetic, and I think you can really see some of that inspiration in the finished doll. So let's get to work. The whole cupid idea just screamed this doll as a base, because she already is a cupid. This doll is a mix of Monster and Ever After High characters, Ghoulia and CA Cupid. I wanted to keep her original color palette of pink, black and white. I had to change it a little bit because I didn't have all the right materials, but I think the idea still came through. After the removing of her hair, face and head, we can spray the doll with MSC and get to work on her new face. After removing her original factory paint, I noticed there was some staining in her face. I tried my best at covering it with 3 layers of chalk pencil and sealant. After those initial coats, I started to add blush to her cheeks, forehead, nose and chin. I also added this adorable heart detail to her cheeks. I add pink and orange eyeshadow. I noticed that warm tones in makeup are really popular amongst e-girls. I sealed my work with MSC. For sketching, for example, the eyes, it's smart to choose a lighter colored pencil. Choose something that is close to the doll's skin tone or something that blends well with the colors you're using on her face up, like my pink here. I add white to highlight certain areas and details. Natural looking lips takes a lot of layers, so build up your colors and textures until you are happy. Fake freckles are super trendy now, so I'm adding them to my doll too. Her eye color was tricky, but I felt like lilac would be the most fun one, so I chose that. Tamiya is a big thing in e-girl makeup, so she gets a nice black eyeliner. I saw chunky bottom eyelashes on some of the e-girl looks as well, so I gave it a go. Not my favorite in the end, but for this doll, I think it's okay. Some Pearl X powder for that magical look in the eyes. To save my progress, I sprayed it all, again with MSC. Some eye shines and a last coat of sealant. I finish off with a little touch of gloss on her eyes and lips. I want to get better with doing yarn hair, so I'm giving it a go again. For her hair, I wanted to do a bubblegum pink color with natural dark roots. But as you can see, I could not get any, so I had to work with what I have. The closest to pink I had was this magenta color, so I prepped a small amount of it to add an accent. I used brown and black markers to add dark roots to the wefts. I think it added a lot of dimension to the hair. I didn't make a wig cap for her, instead I just glued the wefts straight to her scalp. You can add guidelines with a pencil if you feel like you need them to get the wefts placed evenly. I just like to eyeball stuff most of the time. I'm not always a precise person. The yarn is ombre dyed, so I made sure to group the lighter colors to the same wefts so that I can place them on top of her head for a natural look. The part is always very nerve-wracking, so take my advice and go slowly, and give the glue enough time to fully dry before you flip it and start doing the other side. I gave the hair a little comb with an old toothbrush, and I also trimmed it a bit. Now I want to add a curly texture to it, so I just use a metal crochet hook and my straightener to heat it up. This part was actually a lot of fun. To prep her body, I give it a sand and to also remove the black paint. I actually really liked the design on her legs, but it would not go with the outfit I was planning on giving her, and the art style would clash with her face up. And it really angers me when other doll artists do a beautiful matte face with their style and then the body is just left to its factory state. They don't match. Fix it, people, please. The other thing I hate about is the sway back of Monster High dolls, so I corrected her posture and gave her some wider hips and thighs. I also changed out her hands because it would be easier to cover something lighter than black with white paint. After sanding, I paint the doll white with acrylic paints. Some body blushing with pastels, and to further decorate her I decided to give her some tattoos that are inspired by her original factory designs. The same trick applies to tattoos as it does to face-ups. Use first a lighter color and then after sealing it, use a black on top of it. After the base of the doll is pretty much finished, we can move on to her clothes and accessories. First, I took the shoes she came with and removed everything else except the soles. I added some magic sculpt to fill in the shape. I painted everything black. I used double-sided tape to stick the soles in place while I made the tape pattern. I transferred that to the fabric and cut out the pieces. I folded over some edges and then connected the top pieces to the uppers. Then I closed the back seam. I added the tongue of the shoe just by gluing it in place. Then it was time to slide the fabric part over the sole and the heel and glue down the sides. I added laces and made the outer soles out of craft foam. To decorate the shoes, I made some clasps out of jump rings, wire and thin strips of fake leather. I finished off the shoes with some black paint and glossy varnish. I had many different ideas for her clothes. Then Eliza from Moonlight Jewel released her second sewing book. I bought both of them, the first and the second one. From the volume 1 I will be making this pleated skirt, and I will use the leggings pattern to make a pair of tights. From the volume 2 I will be making this adorable simple turtleneck crop top. I traced the patterns on baking paper so that I can save the original print for later use. Here are all the pattern pieces. I did make some alterations to them, like I skipped the waistband and added some extra width and height to the leggings, because I'm turning them into tights. Instead of having only one main piece for the crop top, I separated the sleeves so that I can have my stripes going in different directions. The pleated skirt I wanted to be more high-waisted than the original, so I added some extra length to it. I really liked both of the books. They were very Moonlight Jewels aesthetic. The instructions were clear and easy to follow. The only thing I would like her to change, maybe for the third book, is making the example pieces out of solid colored fabric. Especially the checkered print on the pleated skirt made it almost impossible to see the details. Also, the size of the instruction photos were very small. Maybe some of the photographs could have been taken on a different angle or even closer to showcase the steps better. But I loved how the volume 2 was filled with designs her and her followers had come up together. Some of the designs were very unique and maybe hard to find elsewhere. I will leave a link to her ebooks if you are interested. It might be that they are already sold out, but you can follow her to get notified if they come back or when she is working on new ones. Let's put her hair back on so that we can work on finishing touches. I made this harness out of the same materials as her shoes so that she looks extra cool. I made her a belt and I added belt loops to her skirt. I used silver paint to emulate the looks of rivets. She can't be a cupid without wings, so I made her a pair out of craft foam. One thing I noticed is that I used a ball-pointed pen to sketch out the wings and I had some ink left on the foam. I thought I could just paint over the ink, but it seeped through every layer I did. I was finally able to fix it by adding a coat of varnish and then more paint. Turns out the foam is very absorbent. I would advise to seal the foam with something first before painting, especially if you want to use lighter colors. With black it doesn't really matter. I wanted to make my cupid very modern looking, so the classic bow and arrow would look very odd, so I loved the idea of a sniper rifle. I constructed my mini version out of barbecue stick, craft foam, paper, Q-tips and glue. I had reference pictures on my phone, but my boyfriend says that it still came out pretty inaccurate. He's kind of a snob when it comes to firearms and military gear. The color scheme needed more soft pink, and I just could not resist painting something very masculine, overly girly, so pink it is. I added some small details like eyelashes, hair clips and stickers off camera. I absolutely love working with Giulia's face mold. She is the third one I have repainted so far. I also really love repainting white dolls for some reason. Thank you guys for watching. I would love if you would subscribe. We are getting so close to 10k. Like this video and leave a comment. I would love to know what you think of my Cupid girl. Happy Pride Month everyone, and until next time, bye!